Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of Matters of Faith. A man embodies the faith that is in him. Whatever his faith is, he is. So proclaims the voice of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna, teacher par excellence, Krishna, the lovable prankster, has as many forms and faces as the various strands of the Hindu faith. In the Pilgrim's Progress section today, we take you to Brajabhumi, the many-splendored land of Lord Krishna.
Brajbhumi is the land where the most lovable and vibrant of Hindu gods, Krishna, was born. And this is where he frolicked, loved, and performed miracles. This is the land that bears Krishna's imprints forever. Every stone here seems to have turned into a temple. At least 5,500 temples dot the temple town of Vrindavan. The oldest of these temples is the majestic Madan Mohan temple, which was closely associated with Mahaprabhu Chaitanya. The most popular temple in Mathura, Dwarkadhish, resounds with vibrant bhajans sung to soul-churning music under the beautifully illustrated ceiling that stands on decorative columns. The newest is the magnificently beautiful Sri Krishna Balram temple. Foreign and Indian devotees mingle here, dancing and singing, united in their love for Krishna, reminiscent of the style of the sage poetess Mirabai. The formidable elegance of the Ranganath temple, set in Dravidian style, has a tall 6-story gateway, a gold column, and a huge water tank. The temple is famous for its festivals of Jal Vihar and Brahmotsav. Rows of splendid ghats lie alongside the holy river Yamuna at Vrindavan. These ghats are built on sites believed to be sites at one time of ancient ashrams of great sages. People come here for traditional purification dips. Kesi Ghat is the abode of Yamuna Mata. The aarti performed here every evening is a profoundly divine experience. "25 colorful ghats in a continuous line, with steps leading down to the Yamuna river, mark the waterfront in Mathura. arched gateways and temple spires add color to the ghats. The most important is the Vishram Ghat, which comes alive to a spectacular aarti every evening. As temple bells jingle, little diyas are set afloat in the river, making the ghat look magical with myriad flickering lights. Seva Kunj of the Fragrant Groves, where Krishna performed the Ras Leela with Radharani and the gopis, the Samadhi of Swami Haridas lies at Seva Kunj. Where the divine couple rested, still evokes memories of flutes and anklets. Bansivat is the sacred spot from where the flute of Krishna echoed so magically thousands of miles away that Lord Shiva was lured into abandoning his abode in Kailash Parbat to head towards this forest of love play in the form of a Gopi Gopeshwar. 6,000 years later, this image still resides in Bansivat. Braj Bhumi remains alive with tales of Krishna, his pranks, his miracles, the music emanating out of his flute. The cowherd Krishna seems forever mingled in the waters of the Yamuna and the earth of Braj Bhumi.
Pir Babas appear solemn people. One can ask them for gifts of good health, the birth of a child, and even wealth. To think of a saint who would concern himself with struggling actors sounds very strange indeed. But the shrine of a Baba in Delhi is the actor's friend and ally. It sits on the same sidewalk that they hang out on and even shares a cigarette with them. Let us go to Mandi House, from where several dreams of superstardom are born.
All roads lead to Rome. Perhaps yes, but not anymore. Not in Delhi at any rate. All roads in Delhi lead to the Mandi House roundabout. Or so one may be forgiven for imagining, as traffic swirls around the circle in unending snarls of orchestrated chaos. Mandi House is literally Delhi's cultural heart. On the periphery of this cosmic wheel lie the Sri Ram Centre for Art and Culture, one of the foremost platforms for theatrical performances, the Lalit Kala Academy, along with Sahitya and Sangeet Natak Academies, the National School of Drama, which churns out some of the finest talent in the country. The Kamani Auditorium, where all actors aspire to take the stage. And above all, the headquarters of Doordarshan, India's national television channel. This heady mixture of cultural institutions has led to the emergence of a peculiar sect, the struggling actors sect. They study or perform at one or the other of the institutions situated here. Long hours are spent discussing theories on acting and analyzing each other's performances, and there are some of them who do neither. genteel, impecunious state, their conviction that they are headed for the big time, their complete inability to wean themselves away from endless cups of watery tea served by wayside eateries, and their attachment to this inconspicuous little maqbara here in front of the Himachal Bhavan. This is the grave of a nameless, long-forgotten Sufi Baba to whom struggling actors swear allegiance. Few struggling actors will say so on record, but it is reliably learned that every morning, before consuming the first cup of weak tea and lighting the first bidi that bespeak their status as struggling actors, they offer a silent prayer to the unknown Baba, so that he ensures a benevolent producer's eye will light upon them during the day. In exchange, the struggling actor promises a propitiatory candle. Going by the number of one-time struggling actors who are now cult figures and billboard names, or who govern the airwaves, we may reasonably conclude that the unknown Baba has frequently showered his blessings on the faithful. हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन, हो मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. One more aspirant walks the hard street. One more actor dares to dream. Will his star shine? Only the Peer Baba can tell.
Amongst the sincerest offerings we make to God is the musical surrender of the human soul to Him. Arti. It could be a petition for mercy, asking for a boon, thanksgiving, or just an outburst proclaiming the glory and the might of God. The daily ritual of Arti falls into this last category. Artis are performed several times a day, bringing the Almighty and the devotees into a holy communion.
As dawn breaks and temple bells summon the faithful, we know it is time for the Aarti. It is time to surrender the human heart to the Creator. Aarti, the cry of the heart in agony, calling upon the Creator to rid humans of their pain and bestow blessings. To the jingling of bells, beating of drums and clapping, the collective song rings out. Aartis could be dedicated to Shankar, Mata, Hanuman, or to any other deity.
Om Jai Jagdish Hare, Jo dhyave phal paave, dukh vin se man ka.
The most popular Aarti is Om Jai Jagdish Hare, which is addressed to all the gods and sung several times a day. The lamp is lit and offered to the Almighty with sweeping and circular gestures. The movements are left to right and down to up, forming the letter Om. The song sung is in praise of God, thanking Him for His benevolence and mercy. The deity is fanned with a specially crafted bushy fan made from the tails of mountain cattle. At the end of the Aarti, the platter is put down and water is sprinkled. This water is believed to carry blessings to the bhakts, bringing solace and peace. The faithful go down on their knees in gratitude. As the burning diya is passed around, devotees reach out to absorb divine blessings and energy through the holy fire. As each Aarti, the musical invocation to the gods, comes to an end, devotees gratefully take sips of the holy water or Charnamrit with folded hands, content in the surrendering of their souls to the Creator. And then, with both hands enveloping the sweets of prasad, the bhakt departs, joyous in the belief of darkness having been dispelled from the soul.
Faith is perhaps the greatest of all means for the establishing of order in the world and peace in every heart. The eclipse of faith leads to the perversion of human nature, the dissolution of the great human institutions, and a debasement of human character. The very feeling of peacefulness, of joy, of hope, of surrender is gradually extinguished in the absence of faith. In this great visionary section today, let us take a look at the life and times of the great teacher and the prophet of God, Baha'u'llah, who believed and spread his belief of the oneness of man and religion.
Baha'i faith, born in the 19th century, unifying man and religion, founded by Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah was born in Persia on November 12, 1817. The story of Baha'u'llah begins in Shiraz in 1844, when a young merchant known as the Bab announced that the day of God was at hand. Humanity stood on the threshold of an era of restructuring. Bab's proclamation was revolutionary and disturbed the prevailing order of things. His prophetic words uttered in this room evoked violent hostility from the Muslim clergy. Enlisting the support of Persian authorities, they ensured that thousands of followers perished in a series of horrific massacres. The Bab was publicly executed in 1850. "700 miles away, Baha'u'llah strongly supported the Bab. He was arrested and brought in chains on foot to Tehran and cast into the notorious Siyah Chal, the Black Pit, a deep, vermin-infested dungeon, a heavy chain clamped around his neck. Divine revelation that he was the messenger of God, the promised one, overcame him. As he was promptly banished from his homeland, he left for neighboring Iraq. Baha'u'llah reorganized the executed Bab's followers in Baghdad. His efforts to rally those who had fled to Iraq fearing persecution aroused jealousy and dissension. In disgust, he withdrew to the wilderness of the mountains in Kurdistan. This period of intense physical hardship was fruitful, for he reflected deeply on the divine revelation. He penned two of his most important works, The Hidden Words and the Book of Certitude. In passages that drew upon the Quran and the Old and New Testaments of the Bible, he expounded on the nature and purpose of religion. The messengers of God were all part of the same unbroken process to awaken the human race. The exiled followers of the Bab were galvanized into action. This community of exiles gradually became respected and influential. This alarmed the Persian authorities. Baha'u'llah was now exiled to Constantinople.
To your own servant, Baha'u'llah.
From Constantinople, the authorities, extremely suspicious of his popularity, banished him to Adrianople. Striking out on his own, for the first time, the founder of an independent religion had crossed from Asia to Europe. Baha'u'llah's teachings on the unity of religions attracted respect and following. The unnerved authorities banished him to Akka in modern-day Israel. Baha'u'llah underwent 2 years of suffering in the penal fortress. Political changes sweeping the world saw the release of Baha'u'llah. He moved to Bahaji, a huge mansion surrounded by gardens. The last 12 years of his life were spent arousing the consciousness of the world about its own oneness and of the earth as one homeland. Baha'u'llah died in 1892. The cause entrusted to him 40 years earlier at Tehran's Black Pit was, however, poised to establish itself throughout the world.
The sacred, the profane and the divine, the lofty and the sublime. Faith manifests itself in rituals, practices, godheads, the chanting of prayers, and a myriad other ways. An individual's contemplation or collective chanting, silent prayer, or full-throated singing, the life force that propels it is faith. A rock pile ceases to be a rock pile the moment a single man contemplates it as the image of the divine. No scientific arguments or logic can shake that faith. It lives on, even when hope is lost. Herman Melville in Moby Dick observes that faith, like a jackal, feeds among the tombs, and even from these dead doubts, she gathers her most vital hope. Thank you for being with us this week through our exploration of matters of faith. Goodbye till next week.